Complaining about AJ taking that fight. Obviously, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
Do you see something wrong with AJ taking that fight?
This is just a lot of money. It's just a show.
Right.
This is not interesting sport because, guys, brothers, Anthony, it's Olympic champion.
Right.
Jake, it's just sportsman. Yeah, YouTuber. Jake do a lot of work. Special coach, special food, a lot of exercise new.
Yes.
But this is guy don't have a mother fights.
Right.
Never
Right.
a mother fights. Maybe them wrestling now professional, but Anthony Joshua, it's Olympic champion.
So how long does that fight last?
Listen, my opinion, it's one round because Anthony twice. My fight twice. Jab.
Very hard.
Yeah, look. You know, this is.
And still from his
This
fight.
is jab.
Tyson Fury takes a very different approach, offering one of the boldest predictions in the entire discussion. Fury declares that Jake Paul will knock out Anthony Joshua's statement that shocks many because it contradicts a majority of expert opinions. He argues that Jake is physically growing, training with heavier weights, and transforming himself into a more solid fighter. Fury sees Jake's progression as impressive and believes that momentum can sometimes matter more than experience. Fury has always enjoyed delivering unexpected statements, but in this case he insists that Jake's confidence and current rise could lead to a result almost no one anticipates. He views Jake not as a simple internet personality, but as a fighter who has dedicated himself to serious preparation. Fury's prediction remains controversial, yet it adds another dimension to the conversation, because it comes from someone who understands heavyweight boxing better than almost anyone in the world.
Possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look.
Teddy Atlas approaches the matchup from a strategic viewpoint rather than excitement or fan pressure. He acknowledges the massive strength Joshua brings, but also points out that Jake Paul is not entering this fight empty-handed. Atlas notes that Jake has youth on his side, and younger athletes often recover faster, move with more confidence, and take risks older fighters avoid. He also highlights Jake's significantly improved footwork, giving him the ability to move in ways that can make Joshua uncomfortable if Joshua underestimates it. According to Atlas, every fight has two sides, and this one is no different. Joshua has sized technical skill and championship experience, but Jake carries certain tools that cannot be ignored. Atlas goes deeper, explaining that Jake's mindset might serve him well. Jake is still early in his career, fighting with hunger and without the mental where long-term professionals accumulate. Atlas acknowledges that Joshua is at his best when he controls distance, but Jake's quicker feet and willingness to jump into exchanges could create small openings. Those windows might be small, but they exist, and for Atlas, that alone means Jake cannot be dismissed entirely. His message isn't that Jake will win, but that he deserves to be taken seriously.
While we look at all the advantages that Joshua has, let's look at how I look at where maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter. I get it. But his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at? He got knocked out terribly by Dubois. Where's his confidence? Where's his mindset? Where is he? Is he taking this fight the way that fans are, overlooking Paul, taking him for granted? Yeah, probably is. Might be. Does that weigh in? Yeah, that weighs in. People don't look at those parts of it. And the weight. Paul's smart. He always puts clauses in there. I know this is the first time he's fighting a guy who's bigger than him and all that stuff, but he put in a 245-pound weight, clause where he can't come in over 245. What is Joshua weighing? He was off over a year. He was basically retired. Was he 280? Was he 290? Was he 275? Easily could be the case. He didn't have a lot of time now to get to 245. How does that affect him? Oh, we forgot about that. It's a little thing, but it's not that little. It's a thing that Paul put there for a reason. Again, Paul hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter that Joshua.
Lamont Roach speaks with a tone that reflects both respect for the sport and genuine concern for what could happen if Anthony Joshua fights Jake Paul with full intent. He does not see this matchup as balanced, because Joshua's natural strength and technical experience create a level of danger Jake has never faced. Roach points out that Joshua doesn't even need to throw combinations with maximum aggression for the outcome to be severe. A single committed strike could change everything, especially considering the difference in size and professional background. He stresses that the heavyweight power Joshua carries is not something an influencer-turned-fighter can absorb safely. The gap between their physical levels, Roach warns, could put Jake in serious danger.
Excuse me. My first thoughts was this guy's crazy. Not gonna lie. But I get it. Coming from a guy who's not a true traditional boxer, and to be able to have a position where he can fight a former unified world champion, former Olympic gold medalist, and to do it on such a stage where Anthony Joshua was a superstar as well. I mean, like, he sold out the O2, twice.
Absolutely.
I think. So, I think Jake is setting himself up for, a huge spectacle, and which is, kind of smart. If you're going to go big, why not go to the highest of the mountain? Why not? And I get it. That's what you call business right there. And I seen a lot of guys calling them out, from like Gabe to, other guys who are
Berlanga.
boxers. Yeah, like guys who actually beat him. But why would he settle for those guys when he could fight Anthony Joshua? So I think that's smart. I think that's super smart.
Smart is one thing. What do you think happens in the ring, though, champ?
I think he gets hurt for sure. I think he gets obliterated. Something close to like Francis Ngannou. I think something like that happens, and it's going to be bad for him. But there will be a lot of viewers.
Andrew Tate keeps his reaction simple and direct. He says Jake has stepped into an extremely big moment and deserves respect for doing so. Tate appreciates the level of risk Jake is taking and acknowledges that most people would never enter a ring with someone as powerful and experienced as Joshua. For Tate, the result is secondary. What matters is that Jake is challenging himself against one of the best and showing ambition few fighters, influencer or not, would ever dare show. Tate focuses on courage rather than predictions, and he believes Jake's decision alone earns him respect.
More things before I let you go. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, your thoughts on this fight? And Mega One?
Yeah, huge respect to Jake. I mean, we all know what should happen on paper, but it's boxing. So huge respect to Jake. I have nothing but...
Sean Ali, a professional mixed martial artist and UFC bantamweight fighter, expressed genuine concern for his friend Jake Paul ahead of the December 19th main event in South Florida. Speaking on the Bro Ali Show, he admitted that facing Anthony Joshua is terrifying. Ali emphasized that getting knocked out by a fighter of Joshua's caliber can have life-altering consequences, not just career setbacks. He called Jake's willingness to step into the ring against such a dangerous heavyweight absolutely insane, stressing the real physical risks involved. For Ali, this fight isn't just another challenge. It's a potentially life-changing gamble.
O'Malley is scared for Jake Paul. All right, great. You know what? Thank you, Sean. And now that's now my phrase. I'm going to steal that from you from this moment. I'm going to use it going forward because I didn't know how to describe my feeling about this fight, but I just got it. I'm glad I thought of it right after I read Sean O'Malley said it. Sean went on to say, there's certain punches, there's certain knockouts, there's certain concussions, there's certain ass whippings, there's certain beatings that are not equal to others. They're the kind of knockouts, of punches, of concussions, of ass whippings, and of beatings that change your life. They change lives. And O'Malley didn't elaborate on what that meant. But I know what he meant. I know what he meant. There is a confidence that a person has. From the guy that walks down the street, the most confident, he walks in the room and he's the man and he gets to live his life feeling that way and people will treat him that way. All the way down to the coward who walks his wife like he's weak, who handles everything sheepishly. But one thing those two guys have in common is that neither of them actually knows where they stand. Neither of them has actually tested that theory. They got all the rest of society to go along with it. Therefore, they don't have to test.